So what's life like during the apocalypse? In a word, extra.
Hi.
Hello.
It's so good to see you
Good
again.
to see you again. Thanks for having me.
It's so great having you in. And honestly, Colin, season 1 of Daybreak was so much fun.
It's wild, huh?
Super wild. Josh was just your everyday average kid until this apocalypse happened. What was your favorite part about playing this evolution of him in this first season?
I think kind of like what drew me to the project was kind of that Josh is kind of two personalities throughout the season. We get to see him in the pre-apocalypse as just kind of an average kid with, not a whole lot going for him, not a lot of friends in Glendale. And then when the apocalypse happens, I think he kind of uses it as like a catalyst to become the best version of himself, to kind of unlock the Josh within, I guess, and become, the person he always wanted to be on the outside.
We also saw him wielding a sword for quite a bit this season.
That's right.
He got better. He got better.
I like the way you said that. But he got better.
He got better.
No, you're exactly right. But that was kind of the most fun. Like, I had to know how to use the sword semi-well in order to keep it safe while doing kind of some of the more awful sword wielding. And just that way I didn't whack myself or somebody else or a crew member in the head on set. But yeah, learning the sword stuff was really great. Hopefully in the coming seasons, Josh becomes more of a sword master.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got the friends to teach him.
I think so. Yeah, I think Wesley will whip him into shape.
What was it like for you getting to work with Matthew, and did you fanboy at all?
Absolutely. I mean, so my favorite films growing up were definitely included War Games or Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So getting to work with Matthew was definitely a dream come true. One of my first conversations with Matthew was pretty funny. We were sitting in our little cast chairs waiting for them to set up a new shot, and Matthew kind of just looks over at me back and forth, and we're not saying anything, and he's like, "So, I heard you've been talking to camera." And I was like, "Yeah, man, I have." And he's like, "What? How are you finding that? What's your experience been like?" And I said, It's been great. One of the funny things about that is that you can actually see yourself in the reflection of a lens. So that kind of, before I could even finish that sentence, he goes, "The fact that you can see yourself in the lens." I was like, yes. He's like, "I experienced the same thing. You just kind of got to work through it. You get past it and kind of got to block it out of your head." And so that was really nice, and that made me feel comfortable to know that he dealt with that too, and that I wasn't alone and thinking, "Oh my gosh, this is kind of difficult."
I love the fact that you got advice from Ferris himself about the Ferris Bueller inspired homages.
Well, Ferrisception.
That was Ferrisception. That is exactly what it is. What is one thing that you learned about Matthew that you think that fans would be surprised to know?
Oh, okay. Weird how I have something off top of my
head. I know.
Right?
I'm like, this usually takes someone
a really
long time.
I have something. So how the backpack kid came up with the floss dance. Do you know what I'm talking about? So I don't know how to do it.
No, I'm really bad at it.
But Matthew knows how to do it.
What?
So he's really good at it too.
Matthew's Ted Danson.
He's up on the trends. So I think people would be surprised to know that.
He's got kids. He's hip.
Yes, I think that's where he's learned it from.
I would love to imagine that he and SJP are just
flossing in their New York apartment, just chilling.
We of course know and love you from Supernatural. So when you found out that your love interest on Daybreak was Sam Dean, thoughts?
I was stoked. I immediately from the audition phase, I knew oh my gosh, if I get this project. And if the fans are gonna fan over the fact that this name is so similar,
it's so perfect.
I mean, it would be so perfect. So I mean, in my head, I always knew it as something that was ironic and funny.
Sign.
But the creators had no intention of making that joke. Or and Sophie, ironically, if you ask her, she'll be like, "What's Supernatural?"
You'd be let me tell you.
Let me tell you. But it was funny. After I told her, she's like, "Wait. Jared Padalecki from Gilmore Girls?"
You're like,
I was
yes.
Yes.
You're like, I look cool now, right?
Yeah. And she was like, "Dean." I was like, "No, Sam."
No, Sam.
She's like, but he's like, "No, but Dean."
Episode 8 is so sensational. It's
Thank you.
We get to see so many different layers and really get to find out so much about their relationship, because we'd spent the first 7 episodes just thinking that they were this amazing power couple who's trying to get back to his girl.
Yeah.
Talk to me about filming that episode and what really stood out to you the most.
Oh man, filming episode 8 was awesome. We were led by Kate Herron, who directed that. She's amazing. I actually just messaged her the other day and was like, I love your episode. But no, oh my gosh. So it was such a fun kind of like 2-man play that like me and Sophie got to put on. Some of the things that really stuck out from like the story-wise that were really like kind of fun and cute and kind of almost perfect in a way are like one of my favorite scenes is the food scene where I'm trying all the different foods. And what's so ironic about that scene is like I'm a really picky eater. Now that I'm in my 20s, I'm definitely trying more things and I'm always open to like trying new foods and stuff. But in high school, I was like I knew what I liked and I stuck to it. And I feel like Josh is really similar that way. So it's kind of nice. It was really kind of fun to kind of poke fun at these little things that were true to me, true to the character. Even another little tidbit is like every day after work, I would, if I was really pressed for time, I would like call ahead food to pick up, and I would always get it from the Cheesecake Factory, like every single day. So much so that one of the lines I think is like, there's something for everyone at the Cheesecake Factory, and that was something that I, like in defense of the Cheesecake Factory, I said on set, and so they wrote it in the script. It's like, there's something for everyone, guys. Like,
There is something for everyone. How was the food on set that day?
It was so good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was really good. We had it was all brought in from a couple different places, and it was, yeah, some of it was exactly what it was, and some of it wasn't. It wasn't what we said it was, but it was really good. I enjoyed all of it.
What was it like getting to watch Sophie dive into Sam's, I don't want to say erratic behavior, but when she was really trying to push Josh to his limit and out of his comfort zone? We saw her put on the makeup and the blazer and like dance around the apartment. What was it like watching her go through that?
I think it was so, from Colin's perspective, it was so cool. I mean, to watch kind of Sophie kind of, I guess, take the character into her own and boss up a little bit, like that was really exciting. I think it was a really great moment for television. I think it's a great relatable moment for people at home to just be able to be like, yes, there we go. You know, so I think that it was really, really cool. And I think that Josh is kind of sitting there like, oh my gosh, what is happening to me right now?
What is going on?
And I think it's really funny and endearing to kind of just see like the naivety on his face, and kind of Sophie or Sam going, look, this is me.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to accept me or not.
Well, and it was so great because like in the pool scene, we see that Josh is like, I love you. And you're trying to figure out, like, does he feel like he has to say that? Is it because we're in this like teen drama where there's always a love interest? And then we really kind of see that Sam spins it on her head. What did you think about that when she was like, you don't know me well enough to love me?
I think that Josh, I think that they're both right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like they're just caught up in a different moment. They're not living the same moment. For Josh, Sam really is his love. He loves her, but it's his first love. He's naive to the way that the world works and the way that relationships work. And I think that, you know, that's partly due to the way that he was raised and partly due to the fact that he is an endearing and kind guy and that he doesn't know anything else other than to just kind of tell someone how he feels.
Yeah.
Whereas Sam is going, look, you've only known me for this part of my life. This is very finite amount of time. How could you possibly know me in my entirety? And I think that's kind of the scope of what she's trying to explain. It's like, you don't get me.
Yeah.
We haven't been together for very long.
Yeah.
You don't have a control or ownership of me. But I don't think for Josh that's what he's looking for or trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
But I just think that they're just kind of maybe miscommunicating in this moment.
I like that. They're both experiencing true emotions, but they're just not syncing up.
Yeah, it's exactly. I think that's what it was. That's the way I read it as well. Yeah.
Let's talk about that finale. Something that you haven't been able to do for a very long time.
I know.
But the episodes are out. Okay, when you found out that Josh was going to be the one to supposedly kill Principal Burr, what were your thoughts?
I was pretty stoked.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty epic. You know, obviously it's a group effort in the cereal factory, but you know, to kind of be the one to give that final stab. Very, very cool. And what a more fun way to do it than kind of come back full circle with failing at the beginning of the season with Terrence Marchesian's hand. It was kind of nice to get that final victory, whoosh,
Yes.
and to really use the kind of foreshadowing from the first episode again with the nut allergy.
Can we also give a shout out to the golf club because
Golf
the golf
team for life. Yeah, oh my gosh.
They were amazing.
Aren't they amazing?
So great.
The whole team's incredible. We couldn't have, I feel like we got so lucky with our cast.
Oh my
Everybody
gosh.
fits their character perfect. They play it well. And we had such a great time working together. We all love each, like we all genuinely like working with each other
Yeah.
and hanging out and stuff. And that's why it's been so fun.
In the end of season 1, Josh didn't get the girl. The girl got power.
That's right.
What was your reaction to that final scene?
You know, I think that from Josh's point of view, it was totally just caught off guard.
Yeah.
Just so confused. I think that
We had the 80s music playing. We
Yeah.
thought we were going to have
thought we were
that.
about to head back to Montrose, grab that house. No, I think that it was devastating. I think that ultimately, you know, he's not sure. I think that Josh is left uncertain as to whether, you know, in the last few moments post school blast, if Sam was using him or not. You know, we did see that Sam was really upset when she found out that Josh slept with KJ. But now looking at how it all turned out, I wonder, you know, if she was really, you know, of course she was hurt, but if she was really that affected by it, if she knew if this was kind of her plan all along, you know, we don't know.
I know, that's the thing. I'm like, I don't want to, because they made us fall in love with Sam Dean so well. And I don't want to think that she's now the new big bad, but it's looking like that could be the case.
Look, who knows? Like I said earlier, you never know. The apocalypse isn't always as it seems to be. But at the end of the day, I think that like Josh is going to be ready for whatever comes next, whether it's a battle, whether it's a war, whether it's working towards becoming allies, whatever it is. I know that Josh will be able to, you know, combat that challenge.
What have you heard about season 2?
Just that everybody
We're
needs to go
waiting.
watch season 1 first.
What would you like to see if there is a second season?
Oh man, I'd love to see a lot more battles. I'd love to see a lot more sword training, you know, or sword battling. I think that it's a lot of fun when we step away from the dangers of an apocalypse for a second, and we kind of start to have a little bit of fun with like the clothes or the cars or the ghoulie kills.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see some more of that stuff.
I mean, if The Walking Dead can be on for 10 seasons, I'm pretty sure that Daybreak
I think so.
can get a
we could
season
do-
2.
I think so too. You kidding me? I think we definitely have it.
So what's life like in the apocalypse? It's never what you'd expect.